Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, your friendly neighborhood pothead. Today, I'm trying out the Box Hots all-in-one vape, and it's Dragon's Breath. Tastes a little like dragon's fruit. It does not make you breathe fire. I was kind of hoping that you could or would. But it's a nice indica-leaning hybrid. If you want to be mellowed out, good way to go. If you want something nice and tasty, great way to go. If you want something that's going to get you high while you're lying on the bed working on a podcast, you don't realize how high you are until you stand up. Nailed it. That's what happened to me on the Christmas break when I was away for a month. I was sitting in my room, on my bed, messing around with the podcast, taking a couple hoots off this bad boy, and the next thing I knew, I was upstairs in the kitchen eating nuts and bolts and leaning against a wall while my dad tried to show me the benefits of the steamer that he had just bought that he wanted to get me for Christmas. Don't get me wrong, I love steamers, but you know what's really funny? Watching your dad do an infomercial in the middle of his living room. Now, granted, he's got sales experience, so it's pretty awesome if you ask me. He did a great job. I wanted the steamer, I got the steamer, and now I steam everything, baby. Steaming is the only way to clean your shit proper, especially when you got a fucking dog. You know what I'm not down with? Fucking robots and implants. So I figured this week we talk about Elon Musk, but not the things that he's doing in the company, not the stuff that he's trying to do to help humanity, because quite honestly, I could see the value in some of the things that he's doing. The problem that I have with him is the same problem that I have with Trump, okay? You're not supposed to be public, dude. Your company can go public. You don't need to be in the fucking spotlight. Steve Jobs didn't do that shit. Motherfucker wore black like a shadow, stayed in the back like a ninja, and was just doing his shit, telling people what to do, and coming up with a great fucking phone, okay? Elon Musk is trying to come up with a bunch of stuff, but also be the center of attention. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Okay? Focus on your shit. Don't bother trying to get the audience. Don't bother. Fuck them high. That's how quick that shit works. It's like, bam, right there. There it is. Welcome to the day. Okay, let me gather myself for a second, because I'm a little fired up. I've been thinking about this for a couple days. But basically, this guy wants to be the center of attention. He wants to be in the public eye. He wants people to like him. It's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. He may as well have become an actor. Why not become an actor? If you want people to love you that much, become an actor. I get that you're smarter than me. I get that you could do a lot of different, better things than I could ever possibly dream of doing. I get that you're sending rockets to space. Okay? I know that you're throwing them out there and catching them when they come back. That's pretty fucking incredible. I'm not gonna lie. The problem that I have with this dude is that he buys X, or Twitter, calls it X. It's like you don't want it to fucking survive. Okay? And then, on top of that, he then goes on this, mission to legalize comedy. What the fuck does that mean, dude? Legalize comedy. I know it was born from the concept that, from cancel culture. I know that's where it came from. People couldn't just take a joke. People couldn't just, you couldn't dish it out. You could dish it out, but you couldn't take it. That's what I mean. You could dish it out, but you couldn't take it. And then as soon as anything offended you, oh my God, can't stop talking, can't stop yelling, can't stop getting people canceled, can't stop making sure that the world is like a fucking nerfed up place. Cool, I get it, bro. But at the same time, what we're talking about here is an eccentric billionaire with, in my opinion, zero social skills, okay? And he also appears to be, in, again, my opinion, an evil mastermind. I've said this before in a podcast, okay? I believe that sci-fi movies everywhere are playing out today because you have a president that is trying to do some outlandish shit. I'm a pretty devil's advocate kind of guy, okay? And I can see what some of his thought process might be. But when you talk about the grand scheme of things, his thought process is fucked. Okay? I know that you want to change the system, buck the system, all that stuff. But with this talk of all this like third term shit, dude, look out. I'm not even American and I'm worried. I mean, the whole world is worried, I think. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today. When I talk about what I was trying to say was basically that Elon Musk is doing the same thing. He's doing this like grandiose presentation of himself. I get that he's excited. I get that he's got so much money that he could do whatever the fuck he wants. But at the same time, maybe like rein it in a little. You're a smart dude. Focus on the shit that really needs to get done. Wait, I was saying something else. God, that stuff is good, dude. It's a pretty quick hit. Okay, but what I'm saying is this, is that Elon Musk seems to be like the living depiction of what every sci-fi bad guy or like world dominating leader is, right? Like, he's building technology that can take us off the planet. The elite will have the option to invest or to like utilize this technology. The rest of us are fucked. We're just left here on a planet to rot, okay? Now, right now, he seems like in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion, but he seems like he is actually trying to do and believes that he is trying to do the right thing for humanity overall. He says some outlandish shit, but I think he's so smart that some of that outlandish shit is just literally to keep eyes on whatever the fuck he's doing, you know? So when he started talking about legalized fucking comedy, I was like, how about you just get the Tesla not to drive off a fucking cliff, bro? Like, maybe we should work on that. Fuck comedy for a minute. Go do your thing. Because the comedy is the fact that you think you're doing everything great and it's not working very well right now. There's a lot of cool shit, but it's still got to move. You know, it's still got to get to another level. Like everything else in life, there's got to be a fucking level to it. Right? This motherfucker's on fucking Joe Rogan trying to talk jokes, talking to his fucking AI thing and showing how like, yeah, you could be like, you can have it in unhinged mode where it just fucking makes fun of you all day long. I don't get that. You don't need to be the center of attention. You need, if you're really down for the people, you need to actually be in the fucking lab. You need to be at work. You know what I mean? Doing all your shit. Now, granted, I'm not in on the ins and outs of what Elon Musk does. I'm just saying the presentation is fucked. Okay? I get that you're getting attention. I get that, like, negativity breeds a lot of attention. But at the same time, you're not trying to be negative. Or are you? That's the sci-fi part. That's the fucking problem I have, dude. This motherfucker says how amazing everything would be if we just did this, and this. Then goes out there and just stirs up shit. Like, and you're not really backing it up. You know what you're doing? You become the richest man in the world and now you're just flaunting it. Just doing whatever the fuck. That's what worries people, dude. You're so fucking smart. This dude is so fucking smart that we couldn't even fathom half of the shit that he thinks about in like before his morning coffee. But you can't, in my opinion, you can't be that guy, okay? You can't be the guy that does really groundbreaking, moving society and the human race forward and be a comedian. It just doesn't go hand in hand. And the fact that he's trying to run around saying like, you know, legal, or that's what he did. I don't know if he's doing it so much anymore, but I caught wind of a video on Twitter that I was like, oh my God, fucking let it go, dude. And again, I know that it came from cancel culture. And realistically, I think there were a couple points in that because like where it actually jumped off, and I wonder if he saw them, because there was this one comedian, I don't remember his name, he was doing a club in Canada, where I'm from, Canadian, and he was being heckled, or maybe a couple ladies came in late, they were lesbian women, and he started making fun of them, okay? They didn't really like how he was making fun of them, so they sued this motherfucker. And I think they sued him for like 10 or 15 grand. I don't know what it was, but it was more money than the insults were worth. Plus, you're at a comedy show. The fuck are you doing suing the comedian? The guy is supposed to say offside shit so that the corners of your mouth turn up, like up, as opposed to down in a frown. Okay? Rhymes. So I think that was like a jumping off point. And then there were a couple other situations that I'm not that familiar with where similar shit happened and comedians were starting like they tell jokes, dude. That's what they do for a living. They're supposed to look at everything and like annihilate it. You know what I mean? You can't, to be offended by a comedian is like being offended when your shoe gets a hole in it. Like, it's gonna happen. Okay? If you wear it long enough or you see it long enough, it's gonna fucking get there. So, like, you can't be offended. Just get up and leave. I know that that's been said a lot, but that, I think, is like the catalyst for Elon Musk to be jumping out talking about, can't make comedy legal again. Let's do this and let's do that. But don't be the face. Like, don't be in the public. Like, you should be a guy that's like really tough to get to, you know, like you got to be the dude behind the curtain, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. Come out every once in a while and say some shit that'll blow our minds or present something that'll blow our minds. But to have like an eccentric dude like that out in the public all the time, dude, it's going to fry people's opinions of you. That's just the way it goes. Like it's overload, man. I try to stay to my lane, but I know times when I'm fucking too into it. I've had a lot of situations where I've tried to dominate or, you know, get attention and I didn't realize that I was doing it, but I was like, you know that guy that always like one-ups you? You tell a story and then he's got to tell a story and then you tell another story and then he's got to tell a better story, that kind of thing. So I was kind of that guy and I justified it by saying like, yeah, but I'm just relating to the experience by telling my story. Well, that's not really always what you're doing, right? Sometimes you're actually just pissing people off. Because instead of listening to their story and validating them, you're just like, ha ha ha, let me tell you, and then it looks bad, you know? I feel like that's the general gist of what Elon Musk is doing. He's overloading the population with his motherfucking opinion. Like, that's great. You're smart. Say some things. You know what? Say less. That says more. Okay? This is the slogan cast. Slogan podcast. But yeah, I don't know. I can't take him seriously. I didn't know comedy went anywhere. Or, I mean, I didn't realize that it had left. I think it was just like, it was inundated by a stupid section of the public that, for some reason, all of a sudden became very popular. Like, trends happen. You know, let it go. Plus, also, if you're a comedian and you're trying to, like, or if you're in his position, I shouldn't say a comedian because he's not a comedian. He's not even that funny, dude. He does some, like, funny shit. But the funny shit he does isn't on purpose. Like... Whenever I see him on TV, he looks literally like what's it called? Like a stop motion plasticine figurine moving around on stage. Everything is jerky. Nothing is fluid. There's no like oh man, that looks really cool. There's like, well, is he gonna break? What's gonna happen? You know? Like, you're watching this dude fucking jerk his arms out like he's, like, you know what? He's a typical white guy trying to dance. Jerking out his arms and fucking wiggling a little bit, but he can't really wiggle because he doesn't know what to do. No rhythm. No rhythm whatsoever. You can tell by the way that he talks. I don't know if it's like he gets nervous talking, which makes no sense to me when a person that smart is that nervous talking. But his thoughts are really hard to listen to because, again, even his speech pattern is not fluid, okay? His speech pattern is like choppy. And I don't know, I can't decide if it's because he's got too much shit going on in his brain or if he's just going like, try to be funny, try to be funny, try to be funny. I don't know. But I think his war on legalizing comedy or his pushback to try and legalize comedy, whatever the fuck that means, I think it's just stupid. I think that he's in that middle-age phase where he's, again, the richest dude on the planet and he does whatever the fuck he wants, right? But he doesn't necessarily think about what he's doing because, like, in the public, because he's too worried, he's too busy just trying to live his best life. And if anybody talks shit about that, he fires back with some awkward, weird bullshit that pisses everyone off. But I do believe that at some point, he will become that evil sci-fi mastermind, and, you know, it'll turn. Where everything he's trying to do is good for the public, or is supposed to be good for the public with the ideology that AI brings too much power and all these things could give one person too much power. I think he's that guy that in the story arc, he turns halfway and he's like, I'm utilizing my power, and he just starts taking over everything. Or at least building a way out for the elite and the people that see the exact same way that he does. You know, view life in the same way that he does. That's what I think is going to ultimately happen. And then he's going to be in space while we're on Earth like the 100. And he's going to be blasting out rock music and stand-up comedy specials to the Earth until we all cave and are like, we believe you, overlord of the stars, you know? But his speech is so fucking choppy. What the fuck was that? I have such a hard time trying to follow his pattern of thought. It fucking annoys me, man. Besides, how can you watch him talk? Like, has anybody noticed? I've noticed that, like, his upper lip doesn't move. It's like he's a Botox Real Housewife of fucking Texas or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, so guys, I can't even do it. So guys, how's your day going? My day's great. My day's amazing. My day's awesome. Like, his whole upper half moves when he has to try and talk with his upper lip. Like, the only time I ever see his upper lip, like, do anything is when he's laughing at his own inventions. And then how do you say legalized comedy? You want to be out there talking all that shit, and then the next thing you do, you start doing all these, like, podcasts, and you start doing, like, all this, like, news and interviews and whatever, and you're just complaining about how people don't like you. Well, like, dude, you I feel like it's evident. Like, I feel like if you watch an interview back for like 5-6 minutes, I feel like you'll understand why some people would be like, fuck this guy. You know, like, sometimes you have to take yourself out of what's going on immediately and put yourself on the outskirts and view it as if you're the camera recording a show. You know what I'm saying? You have to take in the surroundings as well as the situation that's happening in the environment, whatever. And you have to reflect on that, not just on what you say and why it's right. You know? I feel like that's what's lost on him, because I've seen quite a few interviews where it seems like he's whining and complaining because people don't like the way that he talks. You can have, like, justification for, you know, what you're doing, but you kind of have to dumb it down for us. you have to make it so that, like, you put it in steps, build it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. He's not a very funny dude. When he gets pissed off, he claps back a bit, and I guess sometimes that shit's funny, but, like, he says some of the most rudest shit as well. And then everybody wants to be like, oh, he's on the spectrum. I don't give a fuck. Like, you should, at that point, have people around you that are like, hey, no. And I'm not saying, like, conform and not be yourself, but, like, there are just some things you don't say in public. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you can't go around talking about your daughter being dead and then, like, expect no one to be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. I don't feel like you can do that. I don't feel like that's a smart move. I don't think comedy ever died. I think a section of the population came back up and fucking made it weird for a little while. But it didn't really, because, like, it didn't really affect it for the long run, because comedy's back hot, baby. Tony Hinchcliffe, he did what? He did, I think he did something at a, I don't remember what the event was because I'm not American and I don't watch that shit. But Tony Hinchcliffe is possibly the most offensive comedian out there, I would think. He does a whole show called Kill Tony, where he has, like, you know, all these like comedians come up. He had Elon Musk on there. Watch that shit. But Elon Musk is not a funny dude, man. But guys like Tony Hinchcliffe have like attached themselves to him because of the controversy that they've created. Maybe he agrees with whatever they're doing, but he's also a comedian, and he took a lot of heat in the same vein that Trump and Musk took heat. So I could see how they would get together and be like, yeah, and then of course the guy, the comedian who's out there making fun of everybody, and the dude that can, potentially make it so that you can live in space, and when the Earth dies, like, I'd buddy up to him too. You know what I'm saying? But comedy, I don't think ever really fucking left, man. I don't think buying Twitter and X and making it X and then, making it so that you could say whatever the fuck you want on there is gonna free comedy. Like, I think that what that's gonna do is essentially just stifle like common sense, because people can say whatever the shit they want on there, man. It's like anything. You could say anything on there, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. And then people will just like, I also don't understand why people in his position don't get that, like, if you're in the public, you're gonna get bashed. You can't make everybody fucking like you. You can't. Especially when you're so, like, herky-jerky. Dude, when he was on the stage when they won, I guess it was like, I don't know if it was at the inauguration, but the one where he did the fucking supposed or alleged Nazi salute. When I first saw that, and again, it's not like I support this guy. I would never buy a Tesla, okay? Let me just say that, because I have an implanted defibrillator and I don't believe that I won't die in it. All right? So, like, to be fair, I don't really have anything against the guy, and I don't really have anything, like, that draws me to him. Like, Neuralink fucking freaks me out. I think that's the craziest shit ever. I think that is one of the major telling points where you realize that this dude can control whatever the fuck he makes, and then if he makes everything electronic, he can control everybody. Send robots into your house, you're just like, doo-doo, yep, let's go get shit. Like, I don't know, man. It's fucking weird to me. I was going somewhere with that and I forgot, so I needed a little puff. I hope you're enjoying the sesh. Hope you're having a good time. Yeah, I find Elon Musk to be a very weird, awkward dude that I think should be more like the Wizard of Oz, living behind a curtain, and maybe occasionally coming out and being like, hey guys, this is what I'm working on and this is what I'm doing, with his upper lip that doesn't move. It's like, remember Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color? Let me tell you something. That guy, okay? Like, that's kind of... See, when I watch people talk, I watch their mouths. I don't know why. I've always done it, but that's how I, like, retain the information. I watch you speak. And so whenever I've watched him on podcasts or interviews or anything, I can only look at his mouth, man. And the way he talks reminds me of Fire Marshal Bill, or a guy that's just been hit with some, like, numbing cream on his lips and he just can't move them. It's so weird to me. I feel like halfway through the interview he's just gonna go to, like, dry up his mouth a little bit, or the saliva's gonna fly everywhere. I don't know. And I don't know how, if you're gonna put yourself in that position, you could be so sensitive to somebody talking bullshit about you. You're talking bullshit about people, dude. You're riling them up. You know what I mean? Like, I know that he tries to say it's basically like, well, I'm trying to inform you and tell you, and yeah, but, like, for, like, most of the population, you have to kind of, like, kid glove it. You can't just come out there and start fucking slapping bitches across the face like a pimp and getting them to pay attention and do what you want. Like, you have to kid glove it. You have to do it step by step, time, and be nice about it. You can't be telling people to go fuck themselves or whatever. Oh. That's what I think. That's what I think about Elon Musk. I think that he doesn't really have a funny bone in his body, but now that he's, a bajillionaire, I think that he's hanging out with people that are giving him confidence. And because they're public figures, he's having this confidence to, like, be in the public. And I don't think that might be the best move. I think that is the turning point for when the world and society all divide and shit hits the fan. And then we end up having a section of fucking the human population that lives on a pristine space station in our solar system. And a downtrodden mole people population that lives on the earth after some sort of like cataclysmic event, whether it be whatever, it doesn't matter. But now we're living from square one again. I truly at this point think that that's what's going to happen. And I don't think the legalization of comedy is going to prevent it. I think if anything, it's just pumping the tires of this dude. And I think he's getting way too overexcited about it. Don't get me wrong, if I was going through a midlife crisis and I could have anything I wanted, I might try to weasel my way into the government and create a department that specifically gives me free reign over checking into everything I want to ever check into. I mean, that's pretty much giving the dude the information to fucking do what he's going to do, which is, enslave the human race, make robots, and become Darth Vader. That's what's going to happen. Whether we like it or not, I'm convinced. Those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. Hope you enjoyed the sesh. Hope you come back next week with me, Justin Barone, your friendly neighborhood pothead. And don't forget to visit tots420.com if you want to know more about some of the strains that I smoke on the episode or some of the products that I use. Subscribe to Thoughts Off the Stem on YouTube. And then you'll get updated every time there's a Sunday strain review, which is in the Sunday strain review playlist, where there's a populated list, of different strain reviews that I've smoked, and I'm adding more all the time. So if you're ever curious about what we're smoking on the podcast, check that out. And do I have anything else to say? No, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the sesh. Oh, wait, let's get the one last puff in. So I hope you enjoyed the sesh. Until next time. Keep your lids low, baby. I like this stuff. It's really fucking hard.